So hello and welcome to the very last Donny Chaingang for the 2023-24 season. The winter season has come to an end. Well, winter in the northern hemisphere, and it's been a very, very busy 6 months or so as we've run through from October right the way through to now to the end of March. Can you believe it? Time flies when you're having fun. As you can see, my name is Mark Payne. I'm going to be bringing you all of the action from the final Donny Chaingang for this season. We're over, in fact, already having done a shift across the studios, hence the green screen behind me. We're not going to do any light and magic today. They've had all on, making sure everything's in here. Now, apologies if there are some mixed-up words here. I'm currently operating on 1.5 hours sleep in 48 hours. It's been an absolutely manic time, including a lot of driving. So hopefully all the knobs and faders are going to work. We're going to do everything on time, and all the riders are going to go where they aim to go. I know one rider who is, that's Russ. He's already down in the pen. So let's show you where you're heading today on the final route for this season. Now, this is one of Russ's favourite routes, and in fact was one of the first routes when we came away from doing real life routes into doing the standard stuff. So we are going into Watopia. It is our 2 laps of sand and Sequoias. It's really easy. We have a 2.4k warm up into the Fuego Flats, into the Rock Arch. We then do 2 full laps, so through the desert, round through the forest, then back through the sprint line and in. So the total distance, when you multiply the 220.2k plus your start lead in, that takes you to 42.8 kilometres. And it's really, really, really key that you make sure that you stay in with the riders and then warm down, because, of course, we do have that warm down. A quick reminder, the blue banner is the warm down point. The Rock Arch is our finishing line. Now, it looks pretty flat apart from Titus Grove, and that is a pretty accurate description of the route. But let's have a look in a little bit more detail here. Courtesy of fellow viewer, big thanks to Swift Hacks for their maps, and to the team at fellow viewer, to Ben Lowe, to Anna Lowe, to John Ward, and all of the team. Thank you very much, guys. Without you, we wouldn't be able to look at the detail. We wouldn't be able to work out how it's going to ride, where it's going to ride, and how it's going to work. And we won't be able to bring you these fantastic graphics. Please do subscribe to Vela Viewer. It's really simple. It's powered by Strava, so if you're in Strava, it takes all of that detail and it makes it happen in terms of where you're riding. And there's lots of great features in there as well. Leading us tonight around the Sand and Sequoias route, it is the one and only yellow beacon, is Russ Downing. Russ is our man in yellow once again for a final time out here in the 23-24 season. The former national champion, the man from fuelmachine.co.uk. Well, he is in the pack, keeping control of our riders on this, the last one. You can see him on the far side of the picture there. And he and Dina of Downing Cycling, making sure that they've got the plans all plotted out for the riders. And Russ is taking charge tonight. I know, super busy, but one more time, let's dive in with the riders here on the Downing Cycling YouTube channel on the Donny Chaingang. So diving down in with the riders at the moment, looks like this group nice and close together at the moment. Everybody making the way out from those pens, and a huge amount of riders in there from the Donny Chaingang Supporters Club, the DCG gang. Now, looks like we're on the left-hand side sound only, in which case we're going to do some kind of sort of magic, and we're going to go and do this. And hopefully now we'll be in both ears simultaneously, because we forced it into a mono signal. We'll find out, because Gareth is, of course, absolutely bob on when it comes to letting us know what, where, when, and how. There we go. That might make things a little bit easier for Gareth. We don't want you feeling lopsided with us just in one ear So our riders up and riding out from the Pez group all together. Lots of members of the DCG gang in here tonight. The people who make it happen, and we're in with Russ. We'll drop a ride on Russ at the moment. Tucked in the middle of the group in that blue highlight with the yellow beacon over his head. As we make our way around this loop, we're going to come in towards the indicator of the Fuego flat sprint. The flat sprint, this is the run into the finish. So when we hit the rock arch this time, it will be 2 full laps to go. At the moment, we are going to be taking that left-hand turn. The arch comes into sight on the left-hand side of your screen. It's very simple. We don't actually have a fake arch here. You can see the pretend one almost as you go over on the top right-hand side of your screen. On that map view, you can see the 3D map imitating that. The key is, remember, the buildings are up on your left-hand side. It drops down and ramps down to the right. So when the buildings are on the left, you go under the rock arch. That is the start-finish line. That is the point at which we have 2 laps to go, making your way in and through. So the group on the way through. Russ taking them out here from fuelmachine.co.uk. Make sure you jump on board, ditch your capsules, grab a bag, grab a machine, get some of the best coffee out there, and support people who make the Chaingang happen. It's really straightforward. So in, through, underneath the arch goes the group. The riders are on their way, heading out. Looks like pretty much everybody in this group. Good to see Wayne Barn here, one of the members of the DCG gang, Donny Chaingang supporters, tucked in here. And Wayne, one of our regular riders. And the members of the gang, got to say a big thank you to them. So the members of the DCG gang are the people who have donated to the gang over the course of the season. Massive thank you, guys. I hope you managed to take advantage of the benefits from 1080, from Goodyear bike tyres, and Cambrian tyres, from Halo wheels, from Nonna's Italian restaurant in Sheffield, from Gritty Sustainable Sports Apparel, and from OTE, the Sports Nutrition. Please do make sure, guys, you give them a thanks on social media. They have supported everybody all the way in through this season. An absolutely massive thank you to them. And looking after our riders, and of course the other logos on there. Well, you've got Downing Cycling's Classic DC, and of course Full Speed Events looking after and sponsoring a number of events. We organise all the gang behind the scenes for the DCG gang, the supporters club, the members' emails, the broadcast, the giveaways at the Swift club. That's all done by Full Speed Events. We've supported the Iceni Women's Race Tour, sponsored that as well this season on Swift, and the Boudica race as well, the Boudica Race Series for International Women's Week. We have been supporting, of course, the Wow Chaingang, the Donny Chaingang as well, all about making sure we get people out and riding, enjoying, and get that sense of community out there. We're also going to be looking after the XCE, that is the mountain bike cross-country eliminator. I know that some of the riders on the DCG gang are going to be riding that. So we have got some riders who have been riding on the Donny Chaingang, riding the mountain bike eliminator for the first time. So please do make sure that you give that a watch. It's really important. Please do let us know if you do watch that and support them. Really important. Now, we are going to give you a quick reminder of where we are heading and what our laps are tonight. So a quick reminder for those of you who maybe have just joined us, missed the start of the show. Tonight's details: we are heading out around Sand and Sequoias. We have 2 laps of 20.2. We finished at the Fuego Flats Arch, warm down to the Blue Banner at 45 kilometres. For those of you who are in need of a 3D picture, it's flat and it's hilly. It's really straightforward. And just as importantly, if not more so, the 2D gives you a much better idea. We roll through, it is flat, we're going out through the desert. When we get in through to the hills. We do the first climb, that's where the split is, and you can see that comes in at just about 8k. We go up that, and then we drop down a little bit, then you've got the long climb of Titan's Grove, drop out of Titan's Grove, and then spin round the far side. So please do jump on board. Make sure that you get your ride sorted tonight. Get it up on social media. Jump on board if you are going to follow us on the XCE Eliminator, sponsoring that as well. And that's the UCI Mountain Bike XCE Eliminator. That's going to be coming out on the City Mountain Bike YouTube channel. So Russ, nice and busy with lots of events. I know he's been out riding the Sportive HQ. Do have a get a ride in with those. You get a ride in with Russ out on the Sportive HQ events. Russ going to be riding all of those, so do jump on board those. Catch up with Russ there. Make sure you jump on board with fuelmachine.co.uk as well as Bikeflex. And make sure, of course, that you jump on board the Downhill Cycling. If you want to go faster, best thing you spend your money on is coaching, to make sure that you get the most out of yourself. You're the most important component in that mix. So please do remember. Now, there is a late join. For those of you who are running late, please do jump on board. Always really important. Now, one of the things we do need to tell you is that it's really important, really important. This is the last Thursday. This is not the last Donny Chaingang. There are Chaingangs on Tuesdays for members of the DCG gang. If you've been a member of the Donny Chaingang Supporters Club, so you've donated to the gang for one of the months or all of the months over this winter season, you'll have an email which should be sitting in your inbox if you haven't already looked at it, and it gives you the details of the Tuesday rides. You need to be a member and have donated. Now, we are aware that a number of people may well not have donated but want to ride in the summer, so we have opened up a single summer ticket. Basically, if you donate in, if you missed doing a donation so far and you want to ride on the Tuesdays on the members only, put that donation in for the summer, and then you can join, and then we will let you in to the Zwift Club and ride. Don't try and join the Zwift Club if you haven't been a member over the course of the season. If your name ain't on the list, you're not getting in. It's really straightforward. I've got to say a massive thank you. Big thank you to a number of people who've made the Tuesdays happen all the way through this winter season. So particularly to Vin Donahoe, to Tracy Seeley, to Keith Richardson and to Andrew Edwards. They have been the team behind the scene who have stitched it all together. A big thank you to everybody who's been a beacon. If you fancy having a go, please do let us know. If you want to be a beacon on a Tuesday, if you want to be a beacon and ride, you can be yellow beacon, you could be red beacon, please do give the guys a shout, and you can do that on the club pages, you can do that on the Zwift Club. But fantastic job, guys. Thank you everybody who has been a beacon on that so far, and everybody who's planning on being a beacon over the summer. We are going to be taking a little bit of a break before Russ and I sit down, scratch our heads and work out how we can continue into 2024-25. I have to say the commitment to get everything rolling is quite incredible behind the scenes. We're a long way from where we were back in 2020 when COVID hit and we needed something to keep ourselves amused. Please do remember, guys, it's really important that you talk to everybody out there. There is somebody to chat to, whether it's on the Facebook page, whether it's somebody that you've met through the Donny Chaingang. We have had people come and go. We have people still with us riding who are on the very first ones. We've got people in plenty of times. It's really important. Please, guys, do let us know if you need help. We are always there. The guys are always there. We're always there. We'd rather be chatting to you. If you are having a tough time, we'd rather jump on the bike with you out on the Chaingang, out on the ride on Zwift, maybe even out in the outside world, than find out that you found things too tough. So please, please, please do get in touch. The community that is built up around the Donny Chaingang is absolutely immense. From supporting young riders like Tom Lindley into racing and riding, looking after people on the way back from illness, people who have suffered bereavements. We've got people who've lost their jobs. We've got people who are jumping on for the first time. All those riders, a massive, massive community out there and being looked after. One of our newer riders, Alice for a second, just making her way in here. Alice, one of our riders who rides regularly on the WOW Chaingang. That's the Women's Only Wednesdays here as well. And I've got to say, an absolutely massive thank you to everybody who has helped out with being beacons on the WOW Chaingang as well. Really, really, really good. Good to see Carl at the weekend. Says Miss Cookie. So no, Miss Cookie was down at the Sherwood Pines Cranky event at the weekend. And a lot of people riding, certainly Northern Hemisphere riders, riding out at the moment. So great to pump into those. We have got lots of outdoor events going on. We are really, 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 really busy over the summer. We have our regular Sunday esports show going out. So please do try and jump on board with that. Don't forget, of course, to jump on board and watch us in with the riders who are out and racing the XCE, as we've already mentioned, for the UCI. Going to be bringing you the BMX World Cup from Tulsa. That's coming up fairly shortly as well. Don't forget, we've also got coming up the Mountain Bike Cross Country World Championships in the downhill. Going to be down in Andorra for that one. We've also got coming up, we're going to be working on, or should be working on, the World Championship, Esports World Championships. We've also, of course, got to, at some point, try and work out what we're going to do next season. But that is going to be a Russ and Matt head-scratching moment to see, because it is getting so busy at the moment. Now, we are on the way through. Who wants a long one tonight? Russ said, not him. I don't blame him one little bit, because I know Russ has been absolutely up against it. He's not recovered from last week. A very good week last week. Do please give the channel to subscribe. That's the YouTube channel for Full Speed Events, YouTube channel for Downing Cycling, covering the WOW and covering the riding here in the Donny Chaingang. Don't forget, of course, we've got some weekends coming up, some rides as well out in France. I'm actually in the French studio at the moment, as you could probably have told by the green screen behind. And that means that we are currently doing some of the prep work for the WOW. So that is a women's only week in May. Please do come and join us if you're one of our WOW riders. Women's riding only for that week, 10 days. They're pretty flexible on dates. We're basically stitched together a whole group of rides and riders for people who are coming out. Really looking forward to seeing who's going to be out there. I know the Tactic team are going to be sending some riders out there. Sandra McKay in here, one of our regular WOW riders from Tactic, and that kit in the Tactic, one of the best colour skis out in the real world by a long way. Very, very easy to spot. Great to see when you're putting words to race action, and definitely one of those kits that we always like to see in the bunch. And good to see that Sandra's in here from the Tactic UK team, and they're going to be out for the WOW. If you want something a little bit different, in September, so on the 7th and 8th of September, if you come out before, a little before that, we're going to be doing some little taster rides, some teasers, a little bit of an insight into some of the climbs and the routes that we're going to be going to on the Flanders Charentes weekend. So think Flanders race routes, think also gravel rides. So we have distances from 55k up to 160 on the Chemin Blanc, so that is basically like Strada Bianchi. It also covers our Chemin Fleuret, so the forest tracks as well. We also have the riders heading out on the Hard Classic, and that is a 250k Flandrian style race route. That is on the Saturday. On the Sunday, we have the Flanders Classic with the traditional distances as well. So 2 weekends. Now, don't think that this is just about blazing sunny, smooth tarmac. It is also going to be tough stuff, because we are going to take you on some of the roughest roads, some of the classic climbs. When we call the climb the Bumpy Berg, it's called Bumpy Berg for a reason. It's really going to test you out. Great practice for the Gravel Championships that will be coming up, whether you're going to the World's Gravel Championships or the Nationals. Also, don't forget, we're going to be going into cross season in the hills around here, generally between about 30 seconds, about 5 minutes. Perfect efforts for riders who are going to be heading into the cross season, so please do come out and join us for that. Now, we're not going to sort your accommodation out for you, but we can recommend a fair few places as well. Lots of easy flights out here, and super fast to get yourself out. Now, we actually came down in one hit from Sheffield yesterday, left at 12:30. Got delayed a couple of times, towing a trailer that was uber slow. None of this 130k an hour on the motorway stuff or on the toll roads. We were doing 60k an hour. Oh my goodness. It was slow at times, I have to say, but we're here at 4 o'clock in the morning, at 4:30 in the morning CET, so that would be the equivalent of what is going to be a 3:30 UK time. So we did it in a winner, did a lot of driving. As we came down, it was really good to get out there. Now, Chris Borland here. Chris, one of those riders, in fact, went pretty much past where Chris lives on the way out. Chris, another rider who looking forward to seeing in action. I know he's going to be looking forward to getting some riding in some sunny roads this summer, and great to see him in action. Don't forget to catch up with all of what we're all up to, of course. What everybody's up to on social media is the new news platform for everybody, and you can catch up with Russ. It's at Russ Downing at Fuel Machine. You can get up to him with Rocket Espresso. Don't forget, of course, you can catch up with me. It's at Matt Fixer Payne. Emma, our Wow Chaingang head honcho, is at biking_Emma. And Emma has been very busy talking about all things Zwift on the Iceni Tour. Now, if you haven't seen that, jump onto the ZMS Esports Studio YouTube channel, and you'll see Emma in action, putting words to the action on some fantastic races every Tuesday on the way in and through the month. So do have a watch back of those. Some great footage. Esports done differently. It's the strapline from ZMS Sports, and it's certainly a great way to watch the action. Some great racing on there, and gotta say thank you to everybody who supported that. Julie, how to get rid of a power-up? Well, the way to get rid of a power-up is you need to pull up the menu bar at the bottom. You can see it just flicking up. And if you scroll through it, I'm not sure we're going to be able to do one on here. There is actually a dustbin in there, and you can dustbin it and then bin it and get rid of it. That's the easy way to do it. So pull up the central blue icons and then chuck it in the bin if you've got power up there. We don't get them on the commentary. It's a nice, easy way to do it, particularly if you're getting in there. There we go. Any other questions other than winning lottery tickets? Because I don't know the answer to that one. Do let us know. Good to see Steve Wilson in here. Steve, another of our regular riders on the Chaingang, a man who's been inspired back into racing. And a man for whom he has a slight twitch in real life, mostly when you mention the word coffee break to him. At that point, you see sped up through the bunch here. So don't forget, make sure that you don't mention those words at particularly any time. Russ was going to turn off all power-ups for tonight. I quite like that idea. I think it was a really good move on the last one to get rid of the randomness. But that's kind of like random real life. You get power-ups and things like that. So steadily working our way in through our riders. Sean Ferron in here, Aaron Cooley in. Now another of our regular riders coming to us from the 3R squad. You can see just tucked in the middle of the bunch. Great rider, great to have him on board, and definitely a great addition to the Donny Chaingang and the DCG gang, regularly riding the Tuesdays and the Thursdays. So good to have you on board, buddy. We've got some young riders on board. We've got Finley Hudson in with us. Finley going to be wearing, I'm sure, his characteristic. What is? I was going to call it tiger skin. Probably the wrong word. So here we go. Just on the side here in that Cape Epic jersey. If you haven't watched Cape Epic this year, absolutely blinding season. Just jump on board and have a watch of that. Cape Epic this year has been absolutely brilliant. I mean, great time for cycling generally. So Mr. Mason saw some recent BBs on Tuesday, so there's hope for the summer. We will see. No problems, Aaron, in there. Let's have a little run through. Isaac Oliver, another of our younger riders in here. And just try and get across to Isaac. We're going to sort of try and dive in here on the BL13 squad in here. Isaac Oliver could well be the man for today, particularly when we go up to Titus Grove for the second time. Let's see how they're riding at that stage. Because we've got Gary Patterson in here. Gary, another of our riders, really progressing this season. We've got Darren Topless in here. Phil Oliver in here as well. Two of our regular riders. So Darren in with us. Darren, one of our beacons on the Tuesday. On the on the Tuesday, the members only chain gang. Don't forget, you do need to have been a member of the DCG gang, but if you have, don't forget you can apply. It's really simple. Just apply for the Donny Chaingang Zwift Club if you've been a member. If you've not been a member, you can't get in. It's that straightforward. It's a way of saying thank you to those people who have donated and kept the show on the road. Russ and I basically absorbed the cost. Russ, of course, with the riding and the training and the leading. Us with all the admin, the broadcast, the streaming, and so on. And I've got to say, if it wasn't for the members of the DCG gang, the chain gang wouldn't exist. It's that straightforward. It just wouldn't happen. And it certainly wouldn't have happened this long. So a massive, massive thank you to everybody. People like Sonia Inslee, another of our regular members on the DCG gang. In fact, I think Sonia was the first person to join this winter of all the riders. So a massive thank you to everybody who joined and has joined over the course of the winter. Real big thank you from me and from Russ. I know Russ will be posting those messages out there. Great message from him up on the Facebook page as well. So really important. Now, got to say a big thank you to this man, Stefano Barali. Barali up onto the climb. Stefano, one of the key supporters. Where you see directly underneath him that black circle with Nonos across the middle. Well, Stefano is the manager of Nonos, and a big thank you to him for hosting us and looking after the members time and time again. Give him a ride on, give him a thumbs up, or even more importantly, jump on board, jump in, and go say hi. Because the companies that are out there that support the sport, that support the chain gang, they're across the bottom of your screen. They need your support. We love to have them on board. We'd love to have them as part of the chain gang. I've got to say a massive thank you to them. Now, Simon Oxenham, another of our regulars on here on that yellow Tron bike, just making his way. I think he's going to be trying to get onto the wheels of the leading group. They're around that hairpin bend, though, so they're a fair way round the back of that group. I think going to be about 21 seconds ahead, so a fair old distance to go as the riders go up. We saw a really great message actually from one of our commercial supporters, from Neil from Gritty. Neil and Caroline at Gritty Sustainable Sports Apparel, supporting the chain gang from its inception. They've been one of our long-term supporters. A massive thank you to them and everybody on there. Gritty with the big discounts in November. We kicked it all off with Halo. A big thank you to Josh Mayland. Josh Mayland of Halo Wheels, one of our absolutely key supporters with those giveaways and with the discounts all the way through the season. A big thank you to him, the man who keeps Russ's wheels turning. Gotta say a massive thank you to Gritty. They covered November and some amazing discounts from them and a giveaway as well. Really supporting the gang. And of course, don't forget you can catch up with them. They're going to be at the National Mountain Bike Series. Their pop-ups all the way in and round. Please do jump on board with them. Don't forget that, of course, you can catch up with OTE. A big thank you to Ali Simpson, to Max, and all the gang at OTE, the sports nutrition. OTE Sports Nutrition, one of our key supporters, a massive 30% discount for members of the DCG gang through December. 20% as there is with Gritty all the way through the season for those riders. And don't forget, you've got till the end of the month. That means you've got another couple of days literally to use those discount codes if you are a member. We came into the new year. We were New Year, so it was a good year and a new year. I got to say a big thank you to Shelley Charles at Continental at Goodyear at Cambrian Tyres. 30% discount off your tyres if you're a member of the DCG gang. Remember, that runs to the end of the month. They saw us in January. In February, as we came in towards classic season, we went to the classic Italian restaurant, to Nonna's, a fantastic Tuscan menu. And a big thank you to Maurizio and to Stefano for the hospitality, as well as all of their team who look after us time and time again. Whenever we go with the gang, whenever bike riders appear, you know they're going to be looking after them. Got to say a big thank you to long-time friend and commercial supporter of the Chain Gang, Ian Taylor from 1080. Now, 1080 have been giving discounts to members of the DCG gang since we started. They've continued it all the way through. One Christmas, they actually gave us a giveaway, quite literally every single Chain Gang, all the way through December. Massive prize list that we gave away. We have given away tens of thousands of pounds worth of goodies to members of the DCG gang. So a massive thank you to Ian Taylor from 1080. A brilliant job done by him. I've got to say a huge thank you before he presses the button to Russ, because Russ, of course, the man whose bright idea it was to keep us all occupied on a Tuesday and a Thursday by doing the Donny Chaingang online. It's been an absolute pleasure putting words to the action, doing all the cooking, having a 1080 delivery all today. Fantastic stuff. Do support the people who support your sport. Tell them why you are supporting, why you're buying from them. Tell them that you have bought because you've been on the Donny Chaingang. It's really important, because otherwise, basically, we can't reward those people who donate. We can't say thank you to them, not just by the rides, not just by giving them the links, but also by making sure that they get a nice brizzy every now and then. There's some big discounts that will help them with their riding. Okay, so John Garfer, Royal Navy Cycling. John Garfer, the man who was previously riding for what was the Royal Marine Cycling Association, all now part of Royal Navy Cycling, one of our regular riders on the Chain Gang all the way through. Great to have you on board, John, another of our staunch supporters. A big thank you to him. There are, in total, this season, there's been just over 80 different riders in the gang one way or another. That includes our commercial supporters, Russ, myself, Emma. So just over 80 different times through the season. A massive thank you to everybody who has been a member. If you have been a member, make sure you join up to the Zwift Club. Jump on board. Don't forget those rides running through Tuesdays as long as members support. And help the guys out doing them. Really important. Vin in here, you know, it just flew on and straight back off Vin. We'll try and get back to you, Vin, as fast as we can. Greg Pilsworth in here. Lord Greg Pilsworth, another of our long-time supporters in here. Great to have him in with us. Rob Farty, one of our regular riders from pretty much as long as I can remember in on the gang. We've got Mr. Little on board. It's been a little while since we've seen Mr. Little, but it is great to have him in with us once again. So good to have, I'm sure it's James Little. It is. James tucked it nicely into the back of that group. Gotta say thank you. Over the season, we've had a lot of riders, a lot of our pro riders. It was great seeing Ben Swift on the front on Gent Wevelgem coverage, leading up Ben Turner, and the man who's been on the Chaingang, real Donny Chaingang riders there, and great to see them on board. A big thank you to Liam Mazzoni. Liam has been one of our key pro supporters in the bunch, a rider who is an absolute ambassador for his sport. Pros, they have a lot to lose by coming in and mixing it up with everybody. Their reputation for the team, how they are viewed. I tell you something, Liam Mazzoni has been an absolute gent. Real pleasure to have on the Chaingang. Thank you very much, Liam, for coming and joining us week in, week out on the Chaingang, and I hope we'll get a catch up with you. We are going to be doing the commentary, Emma and myself. We are going to be at Otley, we're going to be at Ilkley, we are going to be at Sheffield, we're going to be at Dudley, we're going to be heading across to Newark, we're going to be at Beverley. But please, guys, do come and say hello, and hopefully we'll see Liam at them. It's going to be really, really, really fun. So do come down and join us. We're really looking forward to those. The only one at the moment we're not at, feel free to message the organiser and say, why not? Or maybe, please get Matt on board, or Emma, or both. Then is Guildford. And we're not at Guildford at the moment. The Scarlet Pimpernel, that is the race organiser, unfortunately, just can't get hold of them. So we can't even say, hey, you know, you might have somebody. If you do, then great, enjoy. And if you do need somebody new or you want to change the soundtrack, just give us a shout. We're always happy to help out. But we're doing all the rest of the season, all the rest of the cricket season. So it's really, really, really looking forward to that and catching up with a lot of people. So we will be in the UK mid-June to mid-July. I think the cricket season runs for. Really looking forward to that. And please do come and see us. Now, Ted is fast approaching his time limit here today, so a massive thank you, Ted, for jumping on board, for all of your work behind the scenes. Ted is an absolute stalwart. He's the man who does the admin behind the Tuesdays. Thank you so, so much, Ted. I know we'll probably be talking every day like we usually do. Pretty much at some point in the week, we're going to have a chat on the admin boards, but please do give us a shout, and great to see Ted on here. I'm sure we'll be seeing him out in real life somewhere at some point. Now, on our way past the pens, which means we're 2.4k to the end of lap number 1. Lots of coffee breaks going in as we approach the 35-minute marker. Maybe people don't want to give Steve Wilson a twitchy ride in and through. Before we go too much further, we're just going to focus in on Ted here. So a massive thank you, Ted, for everything you've done for the Chaingang over the past few years. Always on the end of the phone line, always a friendly voice, no matter what we're dealing with. So, Ted, an absolute superstar. Thank you, buddy, very, very much, and thank you for all of that support. Now, we're going to say a big thank you to the rider who's riding here with Stefano, and that is the one and only Miss Cookie, the absolute mental case that is the rider. Miss Cookie, Sarah, thank you very, very much for all of your help on the Wow Chaingang, a beacon on there, bit of beacon on the Donny Chaingang, a rider who has been with us through thick and thin, and a big, big thank you to Sarah, one of those people who gives up their time so that other people can enjoy theirs. And I got to say a big thank you to Sarah before we go too much further. Now I'm going to jump in with Jim Flynn, who is tucked in here. Flynn, a member of the Donny Chaingang Supporters Club, as is Wayne Barr. Nathan from Velabas in here as well, making his way in up and through, and no surprise to see he's got the headphones on. There's bound to be some banging tunes with Nathan as he makes his way in and round. Another set of people we must say a big thank you to on the way through are the team from Stellaton Cycling. So to Kuslux, to AG Dage, to Jimmy Allen, et al. Anybody who's part of that Stellaton Massive, that big group of people, a big, big thank you to them for all of their support. They have been absolutely stunning in the support of the Chaingang, of the riders, of our giveaways. They have looked after riders. We've got to say a big thank you to Kuslux, an absolutely brilliant job of going out and supporting the riders out in the real world, supporting riders we know well, who are part of the Albert race team. So Millie Skinner, as well as Kira Bond. Kira, a rider who we've come to know through the Crosscast. That is the cyclocross podcast. A massive thank you to them, and a big thank you to Kustux and to all the guys at Stellaton. Absolutely brilliant job looking after our riders and looking after people, both in the outdoors and indoors as well. Right, we are coming up for the end of lap 1, which means we will have one more lap to go on the Donny Chaingang Thursdays for this season. Will it be forever? Who knows? You'll have to watch this space. Depends on what Russ and I scratch up, put our heads together. The more support, the better. Don't forget that. But this is coming up for the very final Thursday lap on the Donny Chaingang for this season, for certain. It is Russ has given it the 1 lap to go. 1 lap to go. Here we go. It is time to see what is going to happen. We are on 1 lap to go. Underneath the arch, that line on the floor, the riders go over now. That is the finishing line in 1 lap's time. We are 20k to the finish. We've got to get through the desert. We've got to get through the oasis. We've got to get up onto Titans Grove over the other side and run back in. 1 more lap to go. Now, here we go. Just in with AD Dent, just been mentioning him. AD in here, the part of the Sheffield Tri Club. Good to see AD getting back onto form and recovering from that injury, from that interface with the wildlife and the tarmac at high speed. Good to see AD back out and on the bike. A big bonus seeing him coming back into his best. Just going to take a little run through some more of our roads. Sadler in here as well. We are just awaiting the 3 Gs and 3 Os. Russ just keeping a check on that. We're in with Dr. D, Road Dubash Road. Good to see you back. Then going back in to form once again. Another of our regular riders on the Chaingang over the years. A massive thank you to Dr. D, to Road Dubash for all of his support over the seasons. Been really good to see it. Good to see we've got Sam Emsley back on the gang again. So Sam tucked in here on the Chaingang, looking good. So thank you for joining us, Sam. Got Sean Moore in here from Type 1 Diabetes Squad in here. Sean's been on some flying form at the moment. Is it going to be his day today? Will the big guns be able to fire into the finish? Well, one man they're all going to be looking to beat is the one and only Phil Holwell up on the front here. Let's see if he can wind it up and take this out. He is one of the big favourites. He's been absolutely flying all the way through the season. We have people go through some great patches. We saw Mr. Mason, the fat cyclist himself, the self-titled king of the top of the Surrey Hills. Well, the man from Wales, former international rugby player that is Gareth Mason. I have to say, one of the nicest guys. Gareth is on a permanent invite out to come and see us anytime. Gareth here in France, because he is an absolute gent. Gareth and I have had some conversations when there's been some tough times on the gang, doing the admin and looking after the what's been going on, and an absolute pleasure to chat to Gareth every single time. Whatever Russ says about you, mate, don't believe it. I think you're an absolute gentleman. So thank you very much, buddy, for all of the support. We can't afford his food bill when he comes out. We could. I probably owe it to him, to be honest, in a number of ways. Mostly for keeping me sane on a couple of moments. So yeah, always welcome out anytime. to come and see us. And I promise you, buddy, the hills are much smaller than the Surrey Hills as well, in most places anyway. And if you're really missing the big hills, we'll take you into the Dordogne where there's some really big hills. But yeah, get yourself in and see how it's going. Right. Just trying to catch everybody on the way through is tricky. Just as I think I'm going to hit the right rider, they've gone now. Steadily working our way into the riders every time I get the right one. Good to see Tim Byrne in here, so thank you very much. Don't tell me we have a late season Muppet. I haven't had to say that for a long time. I'm hoping to say it again. I'm hoping that everybody's brought themselves back into the fold at the right time. I don't think I've actually said it this season at all. Most of us can't bother. Get in the group. You have to wait. Everybody's keen. Everybody's eager. Let's see how all those go. Sean Farrell in here. We see Sean tucked in the group. Sean knows exactly how to ride this on his way through. So does Simon jumping in here. Just seeing this run through. So Joe is the head of marketing at Pinarello. I don't know the Italian for Muppet. Is it Muppetto? Maybe it is. I don't know. We should call him that really, but he's just trying to wind Russ up. But yes, we will see how he gets on. Don't know about protecting. Nobody's reputation is safe on the chain gang. That is for sure. He's come back in very, very quickly. Got to say a big thank you to him though for looking after us with the bikes. That relationship is a long-term relationship, and we're all just jealous, really, to be brutally honest. He's blown a gasket. Here we are. We're in with him. So the man who looks after Russ is and make sure that the riders are on. Then Joe Deacon in here, tucked into the group now. Joe, no pressure, mate. But I'm going to try and zoom in on Joe. He's tucked right in the bunch. If he's not on Pinarello, he's going to be in big trouble, isn't he? Let's face it. Given he's the head honcho, and the go is gone. Here we go. It is time to jump on board. It is go time. It's the very final one. It is the 3Gs, the 3Os. It's time to light the touch paper. It's time to get into those wheels, to get on to the pack and make sure that you're riding here. Apparently it's Joe's fault, so you can all blame Joe. So you can take it out on him. Just blame him for the fact he's gone here. I think this is a good place to go. It's nice to go on the flat section. This is going to test some of our riders very, very early on actually here, because it is incredibly difficult if you're a lightweight rider in here. And in fact, just to make Steve Wilson a little bit grumpy, there are, guess what, one or two people hitting those coffees to deal with the pressure. Now, Joe Dick and Joe Flynn now saying goodbye to the front of the group. Good to see Andrew Watson in here. Thanks for jumping on board week in, week out, Raccoon. It is great to see you each and every time. Thank you, buddy. We've got Mr. Alexander in here as well. Good to have you on the chain gang, John. Thank you for jumping on board. We've got Rob Craggill in here, Sonia Ainsley, Super Sprinter Sonia, alongside Jay Leo, one of the big group of riders from the Bolsover District CC, a rider who was riding in the Park Hill Uprise, the mini hill climbs. Okay, next season, if we're back next season, coffee breaks banned. Oh, yeah, maybe. Maybe we just put a time ban on them, Russ. We could just do that. Yeah, maybe just a penalty. You've got to buy a rocket machine if you use it at the go. Yes, the Brompton Fairies. Julie along with Sonia. I've had the pleasure of putting words to the action when those two have been hill climbing on the Bromptons. It's always good to see them in action. Had the pleasure of putting words to the action a fair few times at the Bolsover Hill climb down at the big house on the side of the M1. My brain is escaping me. You couldn't tell. I'm operating on basically not a lot of sleep. But it's a great hill climb in the dark with the lights on. Okay, keeping an eye on our riders at the moment, looking good. This is still a big group here, and this is what we do see when the pressure is on. It's going to be a big pack that's going to come in at speed in towards those climbs. Keith Richard tucked in here. Another Keith, another of our long-term riders. Yeah, Julie did the Sheffield Hill race on Saturday. I know, the one run by Adam Simonite, a promoter we worked with previously. Interesting format from him. Good to see it taking place this year. I know Ed Clancy was out on there. There you go. No sooner said than Summers is in there. Ed, of course, the transport man from the region. As it looks like Russ is going for a rip up on the front here, and he's actually, I think, in pursuit or with Isaac Oliver here. So the front of the ride here starting to get ripped up. You've got Isaac Oliver, you have got Russ in here, we've got Cooley, we've got Pilsner, Taylor is in here. No surprises to see Samuel Taylor on board as well. Sean Moore is always hit. He's just like, is it going to be his day today? Will it be his day today? It's going to happen one of these times. Isaac Oliver, Nathan from Fellow Bass in here. Tim Byrne, I've just seen coming through. Holwell's tucked in. But can anybody break away? That little dig, you can see it has split a group off the back here. And there's a few people just getting in trouble here. So looks like we're going to see Tracy Seeley in this group. They're going to need to work together. It's a big old group here. And if this group can work together, they could bring back that pack in front. You can just see the gap has opened up. And Seeley doing a fair bit of work in here, trying to get back to that leading group. I think they should be able to make it. Looks like Forbes, one of those riders who's leading this out. Looks like Lee also the same here. In fact, it's going to be Lee who's going to pull this group back on board. So Dave Lee with that aero engaged now. He's going to get himself on to the back of this group just as they hit the climb. As they hit the climb, guess who's gone for it on the front of the group? It's only the bear. Well, they say don't poke the bear. Joe, cheers, buddy. I'm loving the fact you poked the bear. Here, really, really key. So Russ in with this group, gets mobbed over the top. That group have come back together, but you can see at the back of that group, we have got splits occurring in the group at the back here. They're just behind. You can see that we've now got a substantial group being distanced, and it looks to me like Mason at the moment trying to get on to the wheels. Is that going to be A.D. Dench who's gone off the front? I think it is. It's certainly got the style of A.D. It is Dench who's gone, but Dench has been closed down. So Dench in the red and blue. So the red, white and blue really of the Bikes and Beers outfit, getting passed there by Sean Moore in the blue and white. Looks like Phil Oliver's gone over the top. Jamie Pearson in here in the green jersey with the yellow Tron bike in there. Isaac Oliver up into the mix. Cooley in there. Hudson trying to get in there. Let's see how they get on. It looks like Mazzoni is in here. It keeps on accelerating. It keeps on stretching. It starts to break. They come back together again. We've got Mick Hawkins in. He's holding the wheels here from Bolsover. Little is tucked in as well. Taylor's in trouble though. He's off the back of this group. So is Gooseluggs. Gooseluggs, his lack of aerodynamics with that beard maybe taking its toll here. The follically endowed man. Well, he is currently going to need to find some serious form to get back into this group as they continue to push up on the front. We are seeing attack after attack, and it looks like Moore has gone on the offensive again. So it is Moore on the front, and this time it's Lord Greg Pillsworth. Pillsworth going to go on to the heels here of Moore. They are keeping this hard all the way around these turns. We're not yet onto the Titan climb, the Titan Grove climb proper, really. At the moment, though, they're absolutely fine. Now the big gun's coming out. Holwell deciding that that is enough. He doesn't want to let this group go any further. Holwell goes steaming in the orange, red and yellow here. So Holwell over the top here. The former peak RC rider, a man who can climb like an absolute rocket. He's on his way up. He has gone past Moore and Pillsworth at the moment. Cooley starting to answer this at 5.6 watts per kilo. He's got the company of Oxenham. This is the chasing group at the moment. They're trying to close down Moore. They're trying to close down Holwell. It's only 2 or 3 seconds at the moment, but it is enough that if this group don't push on, they're not going to get there. And whether Simon or Sean or Susan are riding on Run It's Bike today, whichever one of the 3 personalities we're going to endow on to Monsieur or Madame Run It, it is going to be his big speedy legs he's going to have to put in today. Another of the absolute gents of the Donny Chaingang. A pleasure to have a really good chatting to him at Nonna's. And thank you very, very much for all of your support. Trying to cover everybody off but on the way through. People like Mark Chamberlain who've been in here hanging by, says Simon. You keep on pushing, buddy. Keep hanging in there. We are trying to, I'm trying to cover everybody off. I'm sure I'm going to miss somebody on the way through today. If I have, my deepest apologies. I'm going to blame the lack of sleep on the run in. A very tight window for us to actually get out and get out over here before we need to be in action on Sunday as well. So trying to make sure we got out in enough time to have everything set up. The studio just about working, all the knobs and faders in all the right places in theory, although whether I can remember whereabouts they are when it comes to changing the scenes, we'll see, particularly as we do the goodbyes. Oh, excuse me, Joe, what? Maybe I need to get some sleep tonight, more than an hour and a bit. Should probably be a good idea. Now, I'll tell you someone who's not sleeping, Isaac Oliver. He is on the move again. We are seeing Oliver and the man from Peakville, Holwell, both in the same kit, going over the top of each other now. Moore is again doing the work here. I'll tell you something, if there was a prize here for the most time spent chasing down riders and trying to be at the front, Moore would be getting that prize. Sean Moore again kicks just in 8.5 as he tries to go onto the wheels here of Finley Hudson. Hudson's doing 5.6 watts per kilo. Isaac Oliver, though, he's rolling around 6.5 to 7 watts per kilo. He's absolutely nailing this. He's got a little bit of a gap, and this route can be won by a solo breakaway. It can be done. It has been done. Will it be done today? Will it come down to a sprint for the line? It's going to be very close indeed. Let's watch Oliver as he makes his way up here. It's certainly looking good at the moment. The youngster here open the gap, and again Moore doing that work behind, trying to close it down. The man in the blue and white right at the front of the chase. Well, that gap, it's not coming down substantially at the moment. They're making the way up here. It's looking good for Oliver. The gap at 3 seconds to Moore. It's 5 seconds to Hudson and Downing, the yellow beacon, in the chase at the moment. Varty's kicking on at 9.5 watts per kilo, but Varty using that kick rest technique that has characterized his riding since he's joined the chain gang at the moment. Not able to pull the gap down too much here. It's 2 seconds to Moore. It's now 7 seconds back to Downing, who is doing a lot of the work in this chase here today. And not sure what he's going to have left for the finish. 7 seconds the gap between Downing, who's leading this group, and our race leader. It's not a race, of course it is. As soon as those go-go-goes are given, it's a race to that line. Get there as fast or as slow as you can. Oliver and Moore right up at the front. Downing starting to drift back a little bit here. Varty goes up alongside in that Brothers on Bikes outfit, and we've just seen another move going here. Looks like Hudson trying to close gaps down. Tim Byrne doing exactly the same. Oxenham, though, he's got himself really motoring up here because Simon Oxenham, well, he has used that feather. He's chasing Oliver. He's chasing Moore. And at the moment, the leader is over the top of the summit. Time to wind it up now and really make the most of the momentum. Driving down into the descents, using that power to really get the most out of that downslope is critical. So, Oliver, 2 seconds clear from Moore, who is 6 seconds clear from Oxenham. 3 riders detached. Then it is going to be Hudson, and Hudson, well, that anvil that he's got, he's going to be dragging him clear. He might be one of the lightest riders in the bunch, but that anvil is absolutely working for him. It's allowing him to close the gap. Oxenham's up 3 seconds here. It's 12 to Moore. So the gap is in behind Hudson. You've got Pearson. You've got Nathan from Velobaz. You've got Pritchard. You've got Cooley. You name it, they are in the mix here. This is going to be very tricky indeed as they make their way down this straight here. They need to get on to this group. They need to be in position. You want to be with those 2 leaders. They're not making that ground up too much more. Still at 12 seconds or so. Now 9 seconds in back, I think, from Isaac Oliver. The yo-yos as these riders go around. Remember, the gaps are in real time. They're not measured as you go past like in the old days. Oh, the leader's just gone past the letterbox and the clock starts. Then you have to wait for your time gap. And the chase go past. The time gap is 11 seconds. Yeah, none of that stuff. It is done. It's computed by the wonders of Zwift. It basically works out the distance covered, the speed the riders are travelling, which is why that gap can yo-yo up and down. More leading behind him, though. You've got Holwell now in position 2 with Downing for company. And behind Phil Holwell, you can see they are on the move. Moore has held them off so far, and it has done damage. Chopping just in danger of losing this group. There are 10 riders in front of Chopping. Behind him, you can see that there is a long train here. Pritchard really having to work hard here. So is Cooley just on the back. And Taylor, I think the wheels have fallen off that wagon. So Taylor just being distanced here on his way over the top. So has Hawkins, so has Runnings, Emsley, Sadler, Mason distanced. Looks like those gaps are going to just get bigger and bigger as these riders come running into the finish. Now, 2 leaders still clear. Sean Moore and Phil Holwell, they are the leaders who got what is an 8 second gap to the chasers behind. But you can see that Moore in the blue here and Holwell behind in the orange and red. They have kept that gap there. It's still sitting at 10 seconds. But it's a long run down into the finish. We're on our way past the log cabins. On our way dropping down. We're going to be down into those mud flats before we drop onto Fuego flats proper. At the moment, these riders are absolutely nailing it. Coming down this descent, you can see the speed at the moment as they come around the turns. The chasers, well, they're now at 11 seconds. Cooley and Co are working to try and bring the gap down to these 2 leaders. Can they make it? It's a big ask, but let's see what happens when we hit the flatlands. I think there's a few people boxing clever, not wanting to invest too much into this chasing group because it's a big group and they will want some strength left. I think they're confident that the group will pull the 2 leaders back on the flatlands. They'll be able to get the distance down. Whether that's going to be the case, though, we're going to have to see as Downing goes over the top here. So Downing has just gone again. He's opened up the gap. You can see the yellow chevron above his head. He is in front at the moment. You can see immediately behind him, Isaac Oliver is the rider who's chasing. but he's got his work cut out because there's a big old gap to the two leaders at the moment. They're inside, though. They're definitely not out of mind for any of the riders up on the front here, but they're absolutely flying their way down this descent. At the moment, it's going to be incredibly close between them. This is not an easy chase at the moment. 10 seconds from Moore back to the Yellow Beacon group. They've got to keep on working, or these two are going to ride off with it. It's going to be closer today here on the Donny Chaingang, on the DCG, on the very last Thursday of this season. That's going to be broadcast last with Russ leading. The Tuesdays continuing onwards, courtesy of the gang as our two leaders drop on to the main flat section of road. They're heading in towards the pens. They're out to the riders' left. You just about see the arches just over behind Sean Moore here, over the shoulder. Those pens, we know, are 2.4 kilometres from the finishing line. The Yellow Beacon group is in pursuit. It's 7 seconds the gap now. Isaac Oliver is behind. He's working, and at the moment, he's going to pull back Holwell, who is a teammate here. Well, this could be interesting. Oliver with the fastest time up over Titans Grove. He's looking at the back wheel of the two riders in front, but that is a big ask to close down Sean Moore and Phil Holwell. Holwell, the rider who has been taking win after win, but you can see as we come past the pens heading into the desert here, that gap is tenuous. It could be held. It has been held before. Will it be held today on the last Chaingang? And a dig comes in from Downing. Looks like Downing put a dig in to try and pull that group a little bit closer. But he's, I think the effort is telling the amount of work he's having to do outside the road in the butt is taking its toll here. And Isaac Oliver could well be the man who's going to pull back the two leaders. Here he comes. So here we are, straight over the top he needs to go. Will Holwell go with him? The two teammates are side by side. This is Moore in the blue and white. And then you can see that we have got the two riders in that black, orange and red. They're on the same bike. They've got the same kit. They've got the same hat. And oh, it's been a flyer off the front. He's gone for it. Liam Mazzoni, he ghosted his way through. He used the draft on the way through. This is going to be a desperate pursuit. He's out the front here. Who can close him down? Moore's just kicking out 6.5 watts per kilo, but has Liam Mazzoni gone? Is he going to seal it with a win here today? He's not yet round the loop. He's not into those final 500 metres yet. He's holding them. It's 5 seconds. This is going to be critical. Can he make this to the line? Come on, Leon. Time to dig in deep. Make it count. They're coming behind you. They're holding him. And at the moment, the work that he is doing, because he's so low, you can see he's putting out more watts per kilo. Moore just puts in another dig here. Now so is Downing going through onto the front. That Mazzoni's going to come round. Is he going to see the marker for 500 metres at the front? He is. Is he going to get close down? It's going to be close. Who's got a sprint left? Has Leon got anything left in his legs here? This is a superb ride so far. Ghosted through the group. He got the timing right. Hudson's coming after him though. Hudson is on his way here. Can Hudson pull him back? It's going to be close. Hudson's got Mazzoni in his sights and he's going to have him. He's going to roll the pro. Hudson goes over the top and they're queuing up behind him. Simon Oxenham is here and Downing comes over the top of him as well. This is going to be about who's got the legs to the line. Who's it going to be? Oxenham goes on the right hand side. I think Oxenham's going to get it. He has. Simon Oxenham takes the win from Downing, from Oliver, from Moore, Pillsworth, Hudson. It's going to be Osmond, Chopping, Cooley, Holwell, Pearson, Barty. Oh my goodness, what a ride in for the line. That was some finish. There's going to be some sore legs out there tonight. That has ripped my vocal cords apart for good reason. Oh my goodness, what a ride tonight by the riders coming into that finishing line. Great riding, and I tell you something, that is something to see. It's been a fantastic ride in and through. You can see these riders making their way in towards the line, trying to get into the finish. Simon Oxen, it's been a long time coming. I tell you something, he made that count here today. What a finish from him. Congratulations to Simon. Just taking it from the bear on the line. That was some ride. A fantastic finish. What a way to round out Thursdays on the Chaingang as our next group start to come in. Congratulations to everybody who's come in so far. This is our last run in. So let's see how they go. Sean, we've got better numbers than ever. Yeah, I bet. As he comes in and through, it is going to be Taylor who's going to come through. 18th for Taylor. It's going to be Mick Hawkins in 19th place. Top 20 at stake. Sadler gets 20th. Emsley 21st. It's going to be Runnett with 22nd. Mason's going to take 23rd. Oliver is in the run for the line. This is for a top 25 position. Lane has kicked hard here. He's got a big kick gone in. So has Catlin. Can Catlin got pulled down on Lane? Lane has opened this up. They're right behind him. He can't relax for a second. Lane is holding this into the line. He's going to take 24th. Catlin's going to be 25th. Coos looks 26th. 27th for Taylor. 28th for Oliver. Looks like Burkitt going to be in 29th. 30th for Bolton. What a run for the line. Wilson in 31st place. And they keep on coming. What a run for the line this is now. Alice Fonseca is here. She has got Tracy Seeley behind here in the group. Who's going to have the kick for the line? Forrester's leading this out. Is Seeley going to terminate at the end of the Thursday nights with a performance fit for a Terminator? It's going to be a big kick. Forrester's going. Seeley's going to try and hold those wheels. She's going to hold them. Forbes is coming and Ball is on his way as well. What a kick to the line there. Fantastic finish from our riders. They come in and through. Fonseca's going to be our next rider in a brutal race route here today as Donahoe makes his way into the line. He's going to come in. It's going to be a 40th position here today for Vin. A fantastic set of rides so far. We still have riders out on the course coming into that finish. Next up is going to be Clark. So Mick Clark, the next of our riders on his way into the finish. Thank you very much to everybody who's given us the support. Thank you everybody for saying thank you. We do appreciate it. There's a lot of time and effort goes in to make it work behind the scenes, and so long as you guys all enjoy it, then that is what counts. Okay, Chris Canham goes in over the finish, 42nd. Here we go. It's going to be John Garfield, 43rd. I think Dave Lee, 44th. It's going to be Killingsworth, 45th. Samuel, 46th. It's going to be McKay, who's going to be in that 47th position. Good to see Sandra in action. Some great pictures from the tactic team. Locked about, as always, a team that has fun, that has a great sense of community. So great to see Sandra McKay in here, running into the line. Thank you very much, Chris. Great to have you on the gang as well. So Sandra McKay on the run in for the line. Darren Topliss puts in the kick over the top at 6.3 watts per kilo. Topliss is going to take this. He's just going to come in just in front of McKay. 46th for Topliss, 47th for McKay. Henderson's going to be the rider immediately behind. Going to have to hold off Sean Ferrer. Ferrer's got a big kick. Not sure if he's got anything left in those legs, but I think that gap is big enough. So Adam Henderson is going to be our next rider in to the line. He's going to come in just ahead of Sean Ferren. Ferren's inside the top 50, 49th place for Sean. Then it's going to be Gary Pattison now. Pattison has got to hold off Alexander, who's coming like an express train behind at 7.5 watts a kilo. Gary, don't look behind, mate. Get your foot on the throttle quick, because he's been trying to close you down. This is the run for the line. Gary Pattison, big kick, big sprint from Gary as he comes in to that final finish line for the Thursday's DCG. And remember, everybody, If you want to ride on the Tuesdays, make sure you've been a member. You can join up to be a member and ride on a Tuesday all the way through the summer, if there is such a thing this year. Now, Alexander comes in through great riding by him, 51st place. He's ahead of Rob Craggle, but Craggle is up against super sprinter Sonia, whose timing is always impeccable when it comes to our finish lines. Sonia Inslee in across. Good to see Sonia come in, taking that spot. Then it's going to be Rob Craggle, another of our regular riders, ahead of Mally Taylor. Mr. Taylor, sir, what an absolute star ride by him today. So, Mally Taylor on his run into the loop here. I think nobody's got much left, Sonia, including me. It's a good job. We bought lots of ice cream today. That's all I can say. Ice cream and wine is going to be the answer to all things end of Chaingang for me, I have to say, at the end of today. Now, anyone seen Joe Dickett? No, I haven't actually seen Joe come in over the line, but he might have come in that big chasing pack behind you, Russ. I don't know for certain, I have to say. Looks like Miss Cookie up to the top, going up towards the top of Titan's Grove here. So Cookie on her way up the climb. Let's have a look. A DNF for Joe on the way round. That's no good. I mean, what, we've got mechanical. Let's face it, it's on a Pirelli. It'd be a nice bike. So, Taylor makes his way up over the top, around that turn, heading in and through at the moment. We'll see how he's going. He's looking smooth. Here is Mally Taylor, another of our riders who's really improved time and time again. Fantastic to see the work being done by our riders, the improvement that our riders make, and all part of being on the Donny Chaingang. It's always great putting words to the action. A massive thank you to Russ for leading everybody around time and time again and devising those routes and having the legs to keep it frantic on the way through to that finishing line. It's been a busy season for Russ. It's been a busy season for the gang. It's a busy season for us here at Full Speed Events. Please do give us a follow. Follow Russ on social media. Make sure you jump onto fuelmachine.co.uk and look at how to get the best coffee in the business, made in the best way with the best machines. Don't forget, of course, to give Emma a follow. It's at biking_Emma. You can follow at Full Speed Events and give me a follow. It's at Matt Fixer Bain. Every subscribe, follow, every like, it really, really does count. I know people always say that, but it's so true. It does make a big, big difference. Don't forget you can catch up with us on the Crosscast on the XCE. We're going to be bringing lots of race action your way, and probably going to get just as excited about some of that as we do for all of our races. Across the line goes Mr. Taylor, so well done to Mally Taylor. Job done, as Miss Cookie is on her way on the descent, and as Miss Cookie goes flying on the way down, Cookie will be our last rider down into the line. Whilst Miss Cookie is on her way in towards the finish, got to say a big thank you to everybody who's helped us behind the scenes with the tech, with the kit. A big thank you to everybody who's helped us out over the course of all of the seasons. What started off as, I'll be a few people. It won't take us long, and it won't be many during lockdown, to the legendary beast that is the Donny Chaingang. And I gotta say, it's been an absolute pleasure putting words to all of the action. So round the right hand turn goes Miss Cookie. She's making her way round on this little kicker that comes in here. It's a bit of a beastie, this little rise up over the top here. It does some damage, and I'm sure Miss Cookie will be on her way through. No, I haven't finished all of the admin yet, Miss Cookie. I can't go yet. Tell you what we'll do, just for you. Thank you very much to Miss Cookie. Thank you very much for being our red beacon, for all of the gigs, for all of the talk of cake and gin on the Chain Gang. And it means that before my voice gives up and before I fall over from absolute, complete and utter sleep exhaustion, it's going to be time for me to say goodbye for this season on the Donny Chaingang. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you've enjoyed the coverage. Don't forget you can catch up with us. If you want your race coverage, get in touch with us. We can do everything from production. We've got some great partners. We work with some amazing and some very creative people to make lots and lots of racing happen. So whatever your budget, whatever event, get in touch with us. It's at Matt Fix the Pain. You can see it's just down there. Do give us a follow on the way through. Jump on board the Facebook page for the Donny Chaingang. Don't forget you need to be a member of the DCG Gang to Ride on the Tuesdays. And if you want to do that, it's really simple. It's www.buytickets.at. Full Speed Events. You can catch up. You can see those details on all of our social media as well. But it's time for me to say thank you to our supporters, to 1080, to Goodyear Bike Tyres, to Halo, to Nonnas, to Gritty, to OTE. A massive thank you to Ian, to Shelley, to Joe, to Josh, to Stefano and Maurizio, to Caroline and Neil, and to Annie as well as Max. A big thank you to Russ and all of the gang down in cycling. But from me, Matt Payne, it's time for the final time to say, stay safe. We'll see you, hopefully, soon. Goodbye.